Today I'm going to show you how to change your coolant on a 50cc. My bike's the Aprilia RS 2004, and this should work for other similar bikes, those bikes with the AM6 engine. So to begin with, you need to take off the coolant cap. Don't worry if it's a bit tight, there's just a build up of pressure, so undo that and just leave it to the side. Next you need to take off the fairing. In my case it requires a few bolts. However, if you have a different bike, you might not even need to take any fairing off. Now pay close attention to the bolts, as some are longer than others. If you can't remember, just take pictures and then you'll be able to look back when you're putting it all back together. And then another thing you'll need to do is remove the indicators. Now the thing I like to do is get a bit of tape and tape it around the red wire so I know which is which. Now before you remove the coolant cover, make sure you've got a container handy to put it all in. Here the tool needed is just an 8mm Allen key, however it was quite stiff, so I would suggest a wrench. Loosen each evenly and then let all the coolant drain out. Shake the bike from side to side if you want, just to get the remaining out. Because I had oil in my system, I decided to flush it with clean water. I repeated this process a couple of times, each time shaking it from side to side. As you can see, it was draining out fairly quickly, so it shows that the radiator isn't blocked. If at this stage no coolant comes out, I'd be a little bit worried, so I'd suggest removing the radiator to check for any blockages. So here I start to put the pump back on. Remember to put them on evenly and don't tighten them too much. I also filled it with a little bit of coolant just to check for leaks, and luckily enough there wasn't any. Start to hand tighten them, and then when it gets to a certain amount, start filling up with coolant. Here I began squeezing the pipes just to make sure no air bubbles were stuck. However, I did fill it up slightly too quick, so there were a few. However, this isn't a problem. All you need to do is leave it standing and air bubbles will find its way to the surface. So I'm just rocking the bike back and forth just to make sure all the air is out. And then this is where my camera died. However, the process is fairly simple. Just repeat what you did and put the fairing back on. Now before putting the cap back on, I made sure it was all clear and checked the overflow wasn't blocked. Put it all together and that's the job done. I'm not responsible for what happens if you do this to your bike. I'm not saying I'm professional at all, just use this as entertainment purposes only and repeat at your own risk. I hope you found this helpful, and comment if you would like to see more of this.